Travel robot presence. Hey, in this video we are going to talk about the top 10 things to do in South Carolina. Whether you're interested in history, love relaxing at the beach, or are looking for interesting things to do with your kids, you'll find it in South Carolina's many engaging tourist attractions. Take your pick from high-quality stage shows, golf and water parks in Myrtle Beach, or relax at the beach and at the family-friendly holiday resorts on Hilton Head Island. Explore the atmospheric streets of Charleston on a romantic carriage ride, or tour some of the South's most beautiful plantation homes nearby. You can visit the fort in Charleston Harbor, where the Civil War began, or revel in the breathtaking views and quiet trails of Keezer's Head State Park. Bike the trails at Hilton Head, enjoy some of the South's best deep sea fishing, or take the kids to a zoo or planetarium. So before starting this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Let's get started. Number 10. Charleston's Historic District. Immerse yourself in the gracious atmosphere of the antebellum South in Charleston, where more than 1,400 historic homes, churches, and other buildings line the streets. A carriage ride will give you an overview and a little history as well, or you can join a walking tour that includes a peek into some of them. You can also take a guided tour of several historic homes, including the Aiken Rhett House and the 1808 Nathaniel Russell House. Both hold priceless collections of fine and decorative arts. Exhibits at the Old Exchange Building and Old Slave Mart Museum reveal more about the city and its long history. It is also worth paying a visit to the Charleston City Market to watch basket ladies weave sweetgrass baskets, a long-cherished tradition here. Number 9. Myrtle Beach. One of the most popular things to do in South Carolina in the summer is to retreat to the miles of pristine sands that line the coast at Myrtle Beach. As appealing as the beaches themselves are the many traditional seaside pleasures to choose from here. The Carolina Opry produces musical shows, and the Myrtle Beach Skywheel takes visitors on 10-minute rides above the beach and boardwalk. Whether you like fishing or not, you'll also want to add a patch pier to your list of places to visit in Myrtle Beach. Close to 1,200 feet in length, it's the East Coast's longest wooden pier and is a popular fishing spot. For those just wanting to walk its entirety, grab a fresh fish sandwich from Croker's and soak in the spectacular views back over Myrtle Beach. Live music is provided every night in summer, and there's a fun arcade for the kids to enjoy. Number 8. South Carolina Plantation Gardens. Many of the state's 2,000-plus plantations are open to visitors, and those around Charleston are noted especially for their outstanding gardens. Magnolia Plantation is in America's oldest publicly accessed gardens, begun in the early 1700s and first opened to visitors in 1870. They are unique as America's last grand romantic-style garden. Middleton Place sits above America's oldest landscape gardens. The house is fully furnished in original style. Along with showing how the owners and their families lived, these plantations now include exhibits, tours, and programs on the lives of the enslaved people who made the plantation lifestyle possible during the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries. Guided tours of Middleton Place include discussions not only about the Middleton family, but also the enslaved people and freedmen who served them. Active archaeological studies at Drayton Hall continue to recover artifacts that provide insight into these undocumented lives. Magnolia's Cabin Project preserves former slave dwellings that serve as the focal point for a 45-minute program on African American history, highlighting not only the lives of enslaved people, but their later role in maintaining and preserving the estate's magnificent gardens. Boone Hall features a live presentation of the unique Gullah culture developed by African slaves, where descendants of the Gullah people tell the history of this culture through storytelling and song. Number 7. Fort Sumter and Charleston Harbor. The attack on Fort Sumter, the federal fort guarding Charleston Harbor, by Confederate forces on April 12, 1861, began the American Civil War. The excellent National Park Rangers' interpretations bring those events vividly to life and set the stage for a better understanding of Civil War history. You can visit the island and the well-preserved ruins of the fort by boat from the Visitor Education Center at Liberty Square or from Patriots Point. Or you can get good views of the fort from a 90-minute tour on a sightseeing boat that takes you along the Cooper River to Fort Sumter National Monument. The tour is fully narrated to provide historical background for Charleston's role in the Civil War and other eras of its history. It also gives good views of other forts, the Civil War prison at Pinckney Castle, the U.S. Yorktown, and the Ravenel Bridge. Number 6. South Carolina State Museum, Columbia. The South Carolina State Museum is the state's largest such facility. This popular attraction features 4 floors of exhibits covering South Carolina's natural history, art, culture, science, and technology. Many of the educational exhibits are hands-on, which makes the museum especially engaging for young visitors. The museum also features a 4D interactive science theater, a planetarium, and an ever-changing roster of special exhibits. Number 5. Adventure, Columbia. This one's strictly for the kids. The Adventure Children's Museum is a fun, state-of-the-art attraction that places the emphasis entirely on making learning fun. And the fun here is very much hands-on, from the outdoor activities, including a full-scale airplane, to the magical indoor play areas. Highlights include an area dedicated to pets, a science and invention lab, plenty of Lego blocks to play with, as well as fun exhibits, including a fire engine and grocery store. A cafe is also located on site. Number 4. BROOKGREEN Gardens, MURRELLS Inlet. Set on more than 9,000 acres of former rice plantations south of Myrtle Beach, BROOKGREEN Gardens combines a sculpture garden, the Low Country Zoo, and a wildlife preserve featuring multiple ecosystems. The sculpture is displayed throughout an entire series of themed gardens, which include the kitchen garden, palmetto garden, and a children's garden. There's also a terrace garden filled with perennials, roses, and flowering shrubs. The live oak alley of 250-year-old trees dates from plantation days in the early 1700s. Throughout the gardens and in 3 galleries are displayed more than 2,000 works by 430 artists, the country's largest and most comprehensive collection of American figurative sculpture. The gardens were founded by Archer Huntington and his wife, the noted sculptor Anahaya Huntington, in 1932, and was the first public sculpture garden in America. Each December, they are transformed into a magical world of colored lights during the night of 1,000 candles. Number 3. Deep sea fishing. From April through November, South Carolina is a prime destination for deep sea fishing, when avid anglers take to the water in a quest for sailfish, amberjack, cobia, giant blue marlin, barracuda, and other game species. Unique to the state's waters are the many artificial reefs, more than 40 of which are located off its 3,000 miles of tidal shoreline. Built from scrap metal, including discarded equipment, barges, concrete bridges, and military vehicles, the underwater structures create habitat for a variety of marine species. 3 coastal areas are especially prime for fishing. The sea near Myrtle Beach has 18 artificial reefs and 8 fishing piers, including a patch pier, the longest wooden fishing pier on the East Coast. Number 2. Keezer's Head State Park. Keezer's Head State Park in Cleveland encompasses the heights of the Blue Ridge Escarpment and is filled with photo ops. The most impressive is from the overlook, with its breathtaking view of Table Rock. The Raven Cliff Falls Trail leads to South Carolina's tallest waterfall, and the Jones Gap Trail leads to a series of swimming holes. The escarpment attracts hawks on their migratory route to South America, and Keezer's Head Hawk Site is a count site along the Atlantic Flyway. There are fishing rivers in the park, and for treasure hunting enthusiasts, several geocaches are hidden, to be located by GPS. Number 1. Columbia Museum of Art. Art lovers traveling to South Carolina should be sure to include the Columbia Museum of Art on their travel itinerary. Consisting of over 25 galleries showcasing regional, national, and international artworks, it's a delightful way to spend a few hours. Highlights include examples from the Baroque and Renaissance periods, along with works by a number of other European masters. There's also an extensive collection of artworks by American artists, as well as decorative and furniture pieces. Guided tours are available, as well as a great series of workshops and other programming. If you love similar content like this, take a look at my other videos. And if you like it, please smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. If you have further questions, feel free to comment down below. See you in the next video.